My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Disco Elysium. At the top of this episode, I will say, probably about the first 10 to 15 minutes of what we do here, I already know. I got about that long through recording an episode, and then my computer blue screened. Very much hoping that doesn't happen again. It was very stressful. I don't particularly enjoy when that happens anyway, but I'm going to start this episode out by just straight up blinding Kuno. Enjoy your 2200 vision, nerd. And then I am going to kind of just follow exactly the things that I did last time. So first thing is I'm going to use the health because I'm worried about interacting with physical things having me suddenly die. I'd rather not do the whole sudden death kind of thing unless a match needs to be determined quite quickly. Instant photo of tattoos. We have this to interact with. Lieutenant Kutsuragi snapped to this photo of the hanged man's tattoos. It displays an intricate web of blue lines stretching across his torso. Have to admit, it looks quite cool. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed at their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It almost looks like the electronic patterns of a radio computer or an old filler memory, but not quite. Who are you? Gone. What's the meaning of this tattoo? For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone close to the victim might know. Someone who knows about history could tell you. Pop that away and then quickly have a look at this, showing the map again with all of the different white checks that are currently available to me and also the skills that they roll. Tommy Lahome is an empathy formidable in order to kind of just like get him to open up about his grievances and life story. Very, very happy to go back and do that. However, Pile of Eternite. We have the ability to re-roll on this now as a result of the information that we learned from Kuno. So let's go and do that. The Pile of Eternite looks stranger now that Kuno has told you about his pad. Why not looking at the pile of roofing material? You get plus 10 for Kuno having told you about the shack. So 97, roll it perfectly. Because unless Kuno lied, you should be able to just pull the panels aside. Pull the panels aside. There it is. You see a shabby little door. Excellent. That gives us a level up as well as just 5 experience. Kim. So this is the shack Kuno mentioned. Let's take a look around inside then. Now, one thing that I did want to mention is that there have been a few comments that have told me actually how to manage my level ups. Not that they can only go in here into the skills, but also that you use the skill points in order to unlock more of these slots. So I'm going to use one in order to unlock that to immediately internalize Mazovian socioeconomics, knowing that I'm going to want to start working on that as soon as possible. So 3 hours and 10 minutes, not that long at all to resolve that. I'm pretty sure we're almost up to pace. Like, I've just got 2 more rooms to complete. No conversations in the middle of them, though, so it's not that bad. It's really unfortunate because on my first experience with all of these kinds of things, I had, like, off-the-cuff reactions and jokes and stuff like that. But now I can't necessarily just repeat those because they will sound canned. Or rather, I can repeat them and make them sound incredibly canned. Let's lean into it. All right, what's this over here? An empty tube of magnesolum, magnesium supplement. So, cured pig's head. It looks mummified. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder. Electrochemistry. Be still my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean. Someone's taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere. I wasn't thinking about taking it, I swear. I'm just thinking about justice. Or I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective? in guiding my own character by my own kind of like moral and ethical precepts, I don't think I would say the first one. In particular, the whole someone's taking narcotics here, perhaps the police should interfere, because I am anti-drug prohibition. I am pro-legalizing all drugs and investing heavily into harm minimization strategies such as needle exchanges and drug rehabilitation programs, and obviously the well-regulated manufacture of certain drugs, just to make sure that, you know, a bunch of people don't die in San Francisco when a batch of cocaine gets cut with fentanyl. Fentanyl, rather. Sorry, not fentanyl. So I probably wouldn't say someone's taken narcotics here, perhaps the police should interfere. But I also wouldn't say I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective? Because hypothetically, in a world where I would have any experience with illicit narcotics, and of course that's not this world, I would never publicly admit such a thing. So I still probably would be not particularly interested in the amphetamine line. Normal amphetamine, dexamphetamine, or methamphetamine combined. I don't necessarily need extra. I don't need extra torque on the tires that spin constantly in my mind. So I wasn't thinking about taking it, I swear. I was thinking about justice. Of course, detective. Swift justice. Don't worry, we don't have to investigate every trace of narcotics. The lieutenant points to the ladder in the corner. Yeah, swift, lightning justice. Farther, faster, harder, justice! See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path that the local kids use. Let's go and quickly collect a little bit of money here. The poster says, "Get out the way or get fucked up." I decided to read that in Kuno's voice, despite the fact that I don't know whether or not Kuno is literate. Although with the fascination Kuno has with fantasy concepts, wouldn't be entirely surprising. Okay, so that's behind the yard. Oh, that's where Kuno S is going to be. Ooh, interesting. Alright. First things first. What's up with you? I'm trying to check out that code is actually going to make me walk down this area. Right, now I remember. This doorway is going to collapse soon. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together, these being these kind of struts set up here. Take the postcard for Grand Couronne 37 and then immediately have a look at that. This postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B infested slum. Oh, right, we won't actually be able to get out that way. Take a couple more real and then bounce. Wait a second, where am I? Is it up here? How do I ascend now? Ah, right, yeah, that's a stairway in there. It's a little hard to tell that from the outset. Okay. Nosafed for +1 health. That's actually the point at which I used the health charge last time, by the way. And after this conversation I'm about to have, that's where I blue screened. So I'm gonna go quickly get this money first. Perfect. Alright. Policeman cloak. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. Man down! The trooper's being left behind enemy lines! You could swear it's more of an instinct than an actual sight, but you know there's the RCM signature rectangle on the cloak. It's a cop's cloak. A cop's cloak! It's a cop's cloak! Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. He judges the drop. You could probably make that jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. Look around. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks towards an enormous crane towering in the distance over the container field. The look in his eyes is a mixture of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. Motherfucker. Now that's a huge crane. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. He turns to you with a faint smile, then looks back at the crane. It's certainly an impressive achievement of engineering. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. He looks at the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind. What exactly are we doing up here? What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbor. They're bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. He looks around, wind rustling his hair. Or it could be that we're just exploring. He's thinking you've forgotten about where you are again. Do you think I should, do you think the cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether or not you should go for it, he looks over the ledge at the cold pavement below. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters tops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you. The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide. Savoir-faire for me is a very, very garbage roll, so yeah, not right now, I'm gonna leave. Especially because I don't want to try and roll savoir-faire, fail, and then die. Exactly. I'm also just gonna quickly save the game here again. There we go. Ah, no, hang on. Have I still got my autosave? Okay, cool. I've still got my old autosave. So if this episode blue screens, I'll have the next one very well rehearsed. But now we are out of the blue screen threat period. And back into that new content. Wait, it's up here and then down through here I want to go. I'm still not going to go for savoir-faire yet, so let's bounce out. You can sleep up to 21. Oh, that restores all of your health and morale? Dang it. I didn't know my health and morale was going to be restored by sleeping at the end of the day. Maybe I should go back to Tommy Lahome. Isn't that just Tommy the Man? Now, it might not be some sort of big city Parisian, but I'm pretty sure that's Tommy the Man. Alright. What's up, Tom? Give me a whole life story. I want to know everything.
Rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
What do you see in his eyes? In his eyes, a half-familiar longing, flecks of brown and gold. Familiar how? It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes onto the horizon. What's in the southwest? Excuse me? He emerges from the reverie. I'm a cop, I can fix anything. Really, you can tell me, or hell, I get longing. I felt something similar since I woke up. Hell, I get longing. I felt something similar since I woke up. Man, he sighs. I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no help in an absence, you know? I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, a second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am, stuck in this shit. So far from home. Diora? Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Lake Heu. Pretty much on another island. Called Laurenside, off the mainland. Got a little place there. Can almost hear my kids laugh when it snows. What's it like to miss someone? What's it like? Good and bad. An ache that brings you joy. He smiles warmly. I think of them a lot. I dream of these little silly scenarios in great detail. Living with them, it comforts me. There's a pause and a sigh. He then turns his eye to you. What about you, cop man? You missing someone? Is that what it is? This feeling? I miss someone, but I don't know who it is. I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask. He smiles. I hope you can find your own way through your own troubles. I honestly don't want to push my luck there. I think we've had a lovely conversation and have a nice relationship. I don't want to mess that up at all. Alright, Gardner.
It's raining again.
The young woman looks up at the overladen sky.
It was clear just an hour ago.
Tell me, what exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse in March? Well, she points to her wheelbarrow, surprised at the question. This might be the last snow we get, at least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me. She smiles shyly. Yes, think about the crude grandma, not the weird snow. Squint your eyes and look at her intently. Disingenuous grandma. Yeah, I know that. The grandma's a bit too much. No. What nutrients? There we go. Nitrogen and sulfur mostly. She points at the sky. And whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess. It's unfortunate. My visual calculus was lowered by 2 when I started to study Mazovian socioeconomics, so I kind of want to get into this conversation later, but I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to get back into this area of the conversation, so I wonder if I have to roll that now. I'm gonna say, okay, snow it is. Dang it! Mm-hmm. She looks at a wheelbarrow where the snow is slowly melting. Oh, saying okay, snow it is just refreshes it. All right, I'm gonna roll it. Dang. Yikes. All that you can see is the fact that her skin color is a different color. Skin is a different color from yours. That's literally all. You're gonna have to run with that. You're black. What does that mean? She doesn't flinch. So what kind of music do you... No, nothing. The lieutenant turns to you. We should proceed with our business in Martinez. Not particularly happy with the results there. Hey, I'm holding a crowbar. Want to step to me and get stepped on, bud? Actually, hang on. Let's have a thought here. 3 T's. How idiomatic. That's for Freet's opening sign, I guess.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
That's right, fuck off again. But also, I found this mug in the trash. Show it to the man. Yours? He stares at the yellow man mug and suddenly explodes. Oh, man. That's great. Great. No, hang on. The wrong accent. Give me a second here. Oh, man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while. Is it yours? God damn. He wipes the tears from his eyes. Thanks for that, but no, he's not mine. He doesn't live in Martinez. We're done for now. I guess I got a little experience for having done that. Refreshed one of my tasks as well. Alright. Let's also quickly check in with Freet. Then I think it's probably back to Gart to talk about the clothes in the trash and return the key as well.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
She puts down the magazine. Leave. All right. Nothing doing here. Let's bounce. Need to pass time? Buy a book. Reading passes time quickly. Interesting. Didn't know that. Thought you could just sit on a bench in order to pass time quickly. Also, this still is interactable, but pigs go home. The street name is illegible. I thought I'd already read that one. Maybe it just came back. Red checks can only be tried once. Failed white checks can be retried by increasing the relevant skill. Ooh, okay. This is actually happening now. Sweet. Well, first thing I'm going to do is go to Gart. Hi, Gart.
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container key. Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. I found the victim's clothes. But, I certainly didn't put them there. Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. Could someone in your staff have put them there? Or who else has keys to the trash container? We'll go with that one first. Who else has keys to the trash container? The trash collection service? CS Municipal? I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though. Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that resolves itself down the road. Thank you anyway. Could someone on your staff have put them there? Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would ever tamper with a crime scene. Great, let's talk about something else. So about that money I owe, yeah. God, I saw another thing at the Whirling. Another thing. Great. I love those. Never mind. I'm done with that conversation. We should probably find a couple people here to interact with. Ooh, lovely. Take another nose of Fed. You very abruptly cut me off last time to tell me to talk to Kim.
Sweetie. I see you met up with your colleague.
She looks at the lieutenant. The lieutenant nods politely. Wait, who's Sweetie? Who's Sweetie? Does that mean you like me or leave? Who's Sweetie?
Why? You are, officer.
Maybe I am.
And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
She smiles conspiratorially. No, I'm done with mating rituals this time around. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know. Wink. Maybe I have.
You rascal. I'm too old for you, and too married besides.
She grins up at you. Your advances haven't thrown her off one bit. In another place and time, she would have probably welcomed your attention.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained, I completely forgot to introduce myself.
That's okay. The text did it for you. Lena, the cryptozoologist's wife, she slaps herself on the forehead.
I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Her eyes glitter over the rims of her glasses as she looks up, smiling. Miss Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot. You seem to be in a chair. How'd you like to roll with me? Is that a pun? I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything. Sweeties need money, so sweeties get money. No, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything. Her eyes follow your movements with some concerns. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed, like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. She won't judge you, no matter what you say. I drank so hard, I forgot literally everything. Oh my. It takes a moment to process. You know where we are, right? On Insulindi, Warzone. We're dead, haunting each other. We're ghosts. I don't know, some seedy hotel. The Whirling and Rags cafeteria was on my keys. That's right. And where is the Whirling and Rags cafeteria itself located? In Revachol? Yes, indeed. We're in the fine city of Revachol. Honestly, I don't know diddly squat about Revachol. What kind of place is this? Her grey eyes widen. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a grad jewel. The city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. She pauses to study your expression. You must seem quite lost. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? Sure, it's the 1973. All I know is we're approaching the end times. It's a bad year in my late 40s or 50s. Hell, I don't even know how old I am. I think I do already know the context to say it's the spring of 51, though. That's right, dear pen. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded. Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, and she now relaxes her shoulders. Whew, that's a lot of text. All right. I can tell this is taxing you, so I'll ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Some kind of democracy, maybe? I'd like to think that it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Our forces are fierce warriors who traverse on plains and steeds, civilization cowers before us. We're governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's mind and distort our perceptions of reality, concealing our true masters. Foreigners and women. Oh, yikes. And cop. We're living under a cop regime. I'm honestly not super familiar with the usage of the term dictatorship of the proletariat. Obviously, the whole dictatorship part of that kind of not feeling particularly great about that. My brand is less informed by structural hierarchy than is implied by that statement. Which is to say that I lean more towards anarchistic thought than kind of authoritarian or large organizations and structures and hierarchies. So the dictatorship of the proletariat, to me, is like, well, no, hang on, I'm not a tanky. Not some kind of democracy, maybe? But the thing is, my information doesn't even lend me towards that. My information doesn't lend me towards any of these, though. Some kind of democracy, maybe? No, sadly not. Whoever shall is under what's called a zone of control. Lena's voice is so underdeveloped in my part. That's my bad. Under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition, we have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is, she thinks, market-driven. Meaning buying is voting. Ah, yes, the old vote with your dollar. That means people with more dollars get more votes. If there's no government, how come there are cops? Well, I already know this is the Revachol Citizens Militia. I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed. It is quite disappointing, yes. A lot of people would like some form of representation. There's talk, but for now the RCM is all we've got. If there's no government, how come there are cops? Oh dear. She shakes her head, suddenly very worried. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter ever since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone. What is the revolution you mentioned? A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of the archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago? What does that have to do with there not being any cops? It was something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how do I help you? So, how'd I do? You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd. A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook. But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what this world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary. So I wouldn't worry too much. She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good. Who could tell me more? Conclude. Someone more educated in sweeping matters? Maybe you should ask. She turns to the lieutenant. No. He looks away. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective. Of course. She turns to you. And I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. You seem to be in a chair. Yes, dear, I'm a paraplegic. A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height or a grenade explosion. There's something inspiring about a woman on the front line leading her platoon of men. But we have no information about that. I'm sorry, it was rude of me to mention the wheelchair. Let's move on. I want to continue the conversation, but I have no reason to suspect that Lena was militarily engaged. I'm sorry, it was rude of me to mention the wheelchair. Let's move on. That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway. There's no bitterness in her voice. She's accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago. How'd you like to roll with me? Her eyes light up. Whatever do you mean? I want you to be my wheeled chair partner in fighting crime, ridding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers. Sequence killers? Oh my! She sounds impressed. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie. A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from the tree. Kim! Of course! I forgot about you! Well, it seems to me that you do quite well to stick close to him. He has the look of an upstanding officer of the law, someone you can lean on, and... Sweetie, you are looking unsteady. She looks down. And even if you weren't there, I don't think you'd have much use for me. Why? 3 heads are probably better than 2. Thank you, but... She looks out of the window wistfully. Monday isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place, you see. That'd slow you down. She turns back to you with a hopeful glint in her eyes. Perhaps another time. Perhaps. Of course, dear. Good luck with your case. She gives you a small wave. We autosave there. Time to check out this pen. A pen with a green ape on the head. Green ape head, rather, on one end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind expression adorning its face. Seems to be meditating. And get a reality lowdown. You have no idea where you are. Lena encouraged you to ask others to explain the world to you in greater detail. Perhaps try a rich person? Rich people are educated. Okay. Probably don't want to try and steal your stuff yet. The duck worker's in deep slumber. Ruckus is talking to Gart, so I have a little bit of an extra ability to try and wake him up with the physical instrument there. I don't really want to do that right now, though. Alright, Northern Line, let's talk to you. It's all about money. I definitely can't. I can't do Canadian. Hey, Laura, buddy. Welcome back. All about money, you know. You got to spend that money to make money. Money is what really matters. They say money can't buy you happiness, but that just means you don't have enough money. You have to invest your money wisely. You can buy stocks with money and use those stocks to make even more money. That way, you'll have enough to, when you grow old, too old rather, to make new money. Real estate is the graveyard where tired, old money goes to rest. Money is literally what makes the world turn. The laws of money are just like the laws of nature. Unpaid labor doesn't net you any money. There's no such thing as free money. Money is all about numbers. Money is actually all about trust. It's all about money, you know. Kind of got a one-track mind over there, bud. All right. I don't have a sad song, so I can't even perform karaoke right now. And there's no one else here to talk to from me right now. I've never been in the kitchen before, though. The dishes are drying. They smell of chemicals and pine trees. Gorashi Quebec. Gorashi Quebec? Gorashi? I hope someone says his name out loud. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Gorashi and Quebec. Okay. It's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Gorashi Quebec. Please, it's not funny. Definitely not going to do that. It's... Seriously, there's no reason to do that. All right. Hello, sir. Got time for a few police questions? The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. What? You've got some impressive pots there. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of the pots in turn. It sounds like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove. Don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine, I guess. Fine. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air. Ooh. Ooh, hang on. A little bit of interactable up here. Let's get some more real. Lovely. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. I'm going to try and push on the door. The door does not budge. I wonder where this door leads. You do. The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. It's a door in the back of a kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? I'm drawn to its cobalt blue. It's part of the Whirling in Rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know. Out of duty, we may find something pertinent to the investigation. Yeah, out of duty, we may find something pertinent to the investigation. Surely trash would have been disposed of out this passage, and we know that the Whirling in Rags dumpster is where we found the clothes of the victim. Out of duty. Yes. I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in, just to be thorough. It's a side investigation. No, the door is a mega investigation, or the door of the main investigation will merge into a stereo investigation, or a mini side investigation. Mini side investigation. I don't know. We're just pulling at threads, seeing if any come loose. He looks at you, then at the door. God, is the person to ask about this? The cafeteria manager. All right. Let's go back. I got some questions. I'm just shining this light directly in the eyes of everyone I talk to. Hang on. Oh, God, I saw another thing at the Whirling. There we go. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door, he shrugs. Do you know what's behind it? Do you have... No, I don't have the key, and I don't know how to get there. I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just the Freet warehouse, probably. Or some boring space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust. He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. Let him get to pretend he's indifferent. Nope, never mind. That did not result in more conversation. All right, you know what's behind it, and I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, just a little. He shrugs. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. Damn, stop trying to big league me. What is this? So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. It's about the money I owe. How much do I owe you again? For the drinks? 30 real. Let's talk about something else. Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me. Goodbye. Sorry, talking about the debts that I have is my cue to get the heck out of here. Need to do something behind Lieutenant Kutsuragi's back, sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Okay, so we are about to end the first day. Like, it's going to be 2100, and that's apparently when we have the ability to sleep. I wonder if that's when Kim is going to stop paying attention to us. Like, I wonder if Kim leaves immediately at 9. Would not be entirely surprised. All right. What are the remaining things that I had to do in this area? I'm pretty sure I've exhausted everything that I want to do in this area right now. So it's time to start exploring a new area. Let's talk to the big boy.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the louder at the top of the line, and oddly screechy for a man of his size. What's going on here?
Pull up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everyone else here.
Here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down?
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Oh, then yes. I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work. Right to work.
He chants at the gates.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps the people see us talking. Cops and strike breakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
Wait a second. Okay, so I obviously saw Scab in there. but for some reason it only clicked as soon as he said strikebreakers. Y'all are the Scabs. Y'all are the strikebreakers. Oh. Let's hear everything out. I want to know what the union's complaints are. I want to know the perspective of the company that they're working for. But ooh, not particularly comfy with Scabs. What kind of a cause are we talking about? I don't think I've chosen any sides yet. Regardless, I have some questions for you. What kind of a cause are we talking about?
Rights of people, rights of workers to have gainful employment, to make a salary and feed their families.
Seems to me that if the union in, like, this is all based on the presumption that the union in this world is actually operating effectively, right? And especially non-corruptly. But if the union is striking in order to try and ascertain better rights for its workers and better safety conditions, better pay, and those kinds of things for its workers, and you are proposing to allow the company to completely avoid said negotiations, you're not really standing for the rights of workers or people, are you? In this instance, you're just arguing that you would like to be able to be the worker in the bad conditions. Which makes it harder for, obviously, those who are striking and that workforce broadly. I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers.
Again, I agree, but I don't think we agree about whether or not what you're currently doing is good for workers.
I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work. Right to work.
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
He bellows at the gates.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scab.
Call me mañana. Mañana? Mañana? Yeah, I think it's call me mañana. Want to get into the harbor too? What's the strike? Who are all these strike breakers? What exactly is your goal here? Okay, let's go Doptown. I want to get into the harbor too. Have fun, he snorts. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're gonna let you get through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss? I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here, behind the Costel cafeteria. I know nothing about a murder. His reply is snappy and terse. The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting. Why so tense? What are you talking about? I'm not tense. Yes, he's tense. Right to work! He again shakes his large fist, and then turns back to you. It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime. I don't know. We're not picking a side in this just yet, sir. Pity! Turns around and bellows at the gates. Let us work! What is a strike? When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together. I immediately read that with they get their act together, which is clear I've got my thumb on a certain scale here. Decide to block honest work for other people. He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What do the strikers want? Beats me. They mumble about boardrooms and workers' rights while we... He raises his fist, starts shouting again. Have the right to work! There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of attire seem ill-fitting. You are from the company, you piece of... I know a double agent when I see one. Ill-fitting, what does that mean? His shirt is far too small and unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls held up by a belt seem to be for a man with much more corpulence. You're wearing new clothes. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both his fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say that. You've been talking to him for a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from. I'm gonna ask about the strikebreakers first. Who are all these strikebreakers? Honest men and women. Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys of corporate interest. The man runs a hair through his steadily graying military haircut.
We came in here to help the harbor run smoothly in the time of crisis. If union fucks don't want to work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. The lieutenant looks him in the eye. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, they follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given, he starts spelling, given a job to do.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work, he points at the gate. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gate.
And you're unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try and get in through the secretary's office.
He points upstairs.
Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean that scrawny mask punk either.
He points to the dock worker idling on the staircase.
I mean the head measurer, whatever he is.
Wait, head measurer?
Huge Zemanese guy standing up over there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel's right by him.
How bad can one guy be? You seem capable.
Bad.
The man glares at you.
Standing on a narrow bridge. He's got a strategically advantageous position and he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there, but that one's no joke. My men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't you talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean?
The man rubs his chin.
These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you can't get in, anyway.
No, they'll give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
The man rubs his jaw. A perfect, lightly bearded, square wedge. I gotta ask, where you from, bud?
What's it to you?
Deep-set suspicion drips from every syllable. Routine curiosity. Gonna figure out the strike mess. Routine, part of the investigation. I don't want him to know what I suspect.
Am I a suspect?
His eyes narrow.
Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of the people.
The slimy language of trying to co-opt an actual movement for corporate sake is so incensing to me. Oh, I'm so mad at you, man. Already got that. I'm interested in your background.
We're workers, right? Workers stick together. Came in from the eminent domain in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs. Heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bounce to work. I know the drill.
I don't really drink, but can't be that one. Bouncer, where? I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe I know the one.
Worked at, Territorial. Ring a bell.
Yeah, I think I've been there. Not right now, but I might have been there. Don't really remember things too well. I don't want to push Are You Lying until I catch him in a lie.
Uh-huh. It's a long time ago.
The man is quickly losing interest in talking with you. I'm going to bounce from that conversation. I'm also going to save the game at this point and say that my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Disco Elysium. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.